Mr. Smith rang me up 18 years ago, and he said he had some old windows in his house, and would I go over and have a look at them, because they need restoring. So I went over, and when I arrived there, I was quite amazed at these panels. I hadn't seen anything like them in the area before to be restored. So it got me thinking that maybe these are much older than he thought. He'd only been there a few years. So we discussed the windows, and I had to look round at various other places to see if there was anything similar, and I couldn't find anything similar, so I carried on with the restoration work. They were quite battered and cracked and needed quite a lot of restoration work, which meant that they couldn't be done in situ. I had to actually take them out and bring them back to the studio. So on my next visit, because I had to organise the glass, order the glass to match the right colours, and they said, this is quite old glass, where did it come from? And we went from there. But then someone said to me, oh, we think the glass came from Newenham Abbey. So I did a bit more research on it, and I found that Mr. Davison, the archaeologist, had been in and excavated the area and found various pieces of glass. And more research came up until we think that it actually came from the Abbey. The colours were made from natural oxides, because that's all that we had then. And so for gold, we had, gold was red. That's why it was so expensive. And various other, whatever oxides they had in the area, then they used to colour the glass. But it was all natural at that time. It was Theophilus, first of all, that realised that oxides created colours. And so it depends what you do with the oxide, whether you heat the oxide. Oxides were mixed with ground glass, and then a fluid was put with that ground glass and the oxide, and then it was fired in the kiln. Depending what temperature the kiln was fired at, depended what colour came out. During the medieval times, of course, they had clay kilns, mud kilns. It was all different sorts of salt as a mineral were coming out of the mud and the clay, which changed the colour as well.